How much time did you do?
Overall, I did 10 years. So it was hard because I like my freedom. So when I got to downstate, right? Rikers Island was kind of like, it gave me a false understanding of imprisonment, right? Because I mean, Rikers Island, if you have connections and you can have a little bit of freedom, you can feel kind of free, right? But once I got on that bus and I went to downstate, and it was like slavery, man. I got beat up by the police my first day there. Because they was like, yo, you got to bend over, spread your balls. And I said, what? I'm not doing what? What are you talking about? He grabbed me, and my first instinct was, fuck that. Then he pulled the pin. I heard it. And then I got my ass beat my first day, right? And it was like they're trying to brainwash you, right? So no, you got to bend over. I'm not, yo, bro. I don't want none of that. So I went to the box, in downstate. They take me out the box. Then they had like 100. It's crazy, bro. It's like it's really like some slave shit, because they had 100 motherfuckers in one room. They made everybody get naked, right? And they gotta shower you and give you this burning light shit or whatever. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I ain't want some bugged out shit. And then from that, they want to take you to the barber and you gotta shave your head. So I'm not shaving nothing, so I get beat up again. I go back to the box, right? So even just before I even made it to prison, so downstate is like, so you got Rikers Island, downstate. Downstate is how they condition you to go to prison, and they figure out your classification, what prison they're gonna put you in, and they're working on your mind. They gotta condition you to go to prison, right? That's what they're doing. They don't say that, but that's what they're doing, right? So that first part was fucking horrendous, man. So I went through that, and then now I'm in a cell, 24 hours. So downstate, there ain't no movement, because so what they're doing is they're conditioning you of being in a cell. You ain't got no cellie, no bunk, it's just you. Nasty ass cell. So it was a lot. I adjusted somehow, and then after I adjusted, now fear of the unknown came into play. So now I'm hearing all these stories. So I said, listen, motherfucker not gonna rape me, and motherfucker not gonna cut me. So as soon as I get my hands on, I need to figure out how to get a knife. So I made some moves, was able to get some hardware, and I got strapped up, and I went up top. When I went up top, my first week there, I went to the box because I was so scared, I cut like 2 dudes, right? Like my first week in jail, right? It wasn't even, I don't think I was supposed to do that, but it was just like, I was so, like, I was scared. Like, I wasn't, I wasn't a tough guy, but I wasn't gonna let anybody do nothing to me. So I cut somebody. I went to Southport box, and I did.
And what was the Southport box experience like? Because man, you spoke about the loaf before.
Shit was hell, man.
Loaf.
Yeah. Man, Southport box was crazy, because it was like they set you up to do more time in the box. So they put you in a situation where you gotta defend yourself. And it's kill or be killed. So you cut somebody, now you get a new charge. That's a 1 to 3. Depending on how you cut them, depending on their record. Thank God the person that I cut had a history of cutting somebody. So instead of me having to do the whole 1 to 3, they gave me 10 months in the box. Right? Really, I got a year in the box, but I ended up doing 10 months.
And what was your mental state, though?
It was fucking
psychologically. How did that mess with you?
Bro, it rattled my brain. Because before I went to the box, the police beat you up bad. Like when you go to the box, they're gonna beat the shit out of you. They're gonna really, they wanna break your spirit going into the box. So for me, and when they sense you got a spirit, they wanna destroy that. So they choke me, we're gonna kill you here. They try to kill me. And I just remember, I ain't gonna die, fuck that. I ain't gonna fuck that. I mean, you handcuffed, you got 9 correctional officers, big stupid white boys, you handcuffed, you at a disadvantage anyway. So that was tough. Then I get in the box, once again, you can't move. At the end of your bed, is the shower, right? At the end, so the bed is on the wall, right? At the end of the bed is the shower, which comes on once a week, right? At the top of your bed is your toilet, right? And then you got a door which leads to like another cell, which is your rec in the morning. So when you wake up in the morning, you gotta be up early to catch the door because they click it. If you miss the click, then you ain't gonna be able to get some air. So it's a cage inside of a cage. So I mean, fuck, man. I mean, how could you? The only way I can describe it is, you know, God gave me the mental toughness to kind of hold on to some type of sanity, you know, in that situation. Aside from police coming in every night, because I had the police officer that had hurt my ribs and smacked me really hard going into the box. I said, I'm gonna get him back. So what I did was I cut a toothpaste thing, right? I cut the toothpaste off, pissed in the toothpaste, rolled it up, put it at the tip of my cell. So when he came for the count, I stomped on it, splashed him, pissed him. You know what I mean? So that was my get back. But that get back, you know, you're gonna get back, right? So this is a 3-month beating I'm getting every night. So I had to deal with that, right? And what can I say, man? I came out of it very strong, and I realized something in myself. I have a very high tolerance for pain, and I'm a fighter. And I say all the time, when you feel overwhelmed, think about what you overcame. So me being able to overcome the psychological warfare they placed upon me in Southport Box, doing something like digital reparations or Medipay is going to be a walk in the park for me.
And what was that transition like when you came back into society? Was it hard for you to transition back, or did you come back and was able to just get
extremely hard? It was extremely hard because, you know, my mother's a drug addict, no relationship with my father. You know, my grandparents had a frozen image of who they thought I would be, right? And who I always would be. So when I came home, it was like, yo, look, man, we need to get our family together. We got to do X, Y, Z. And the support I thought I would have, I didn't have. So it kind of threw me off. Then I had all these grand ideas. So I had to go to Barnes & Nobles. So I went to Barnes & Nobles from open to close. And I would just read books on business, studying, you know, stock and Silicon Valley, and trying to adjust to society in that way. Yeah. And my focus was heightened. So I was able to see things, how they could be and how they should be when my peers were still stuck in the past. So that was the hardest thing too, right? Like being able to, you know, deal with being an outcast. And it seemed like my family only supported me when I was selling drugs and, you know, robbing people and going through bullshit. I would only get the support when I was on a low vibration, but when I raised my vibration, it was isolation, right? And I felt like I was leaving prison to be back in prison. So even though I'm free physically, I'm in prison with this mentality, right? This mentality is making me different. I don't want to hang out with the homies no more. I don't want to smoke. I don't want to go to the hookah lounge. I don't want to drink. I don't want no pills. I'm not popping no Percocet. I'm not going to no strip club. I don't know what the latest drill rapper name is. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to build generational wealth, and I know tomorrow has to start today. And my youth is meant to work. I don't got time. I gotta do this now. I gotta act like I'm 95 right now. Right? So that was the hardest thing, and having that sense of urgency and finding other young people that have that sense of urgency, which I haven't found yet. So hence me hanging around people like Charlie or you, Sanetta. Like I have to reach out to older people because the older motherfuckers should get it. Right? They should get it because you've been here, so you know what regret is. And if you know what regret is, you also know what redemption is. Right? So my youth represents redemption for you. Right? So the OGs that let my generation down, right? You have redemption in the form of me, right? And all you gotta do is give me information and point me in the right direction. What's my brother doing?
I'm on top now, I see it from a bird's eye view. Out of the pen, greens and the black state boots. Back in the game, coke prices rising again. And I got nickel bags on 110th. Dolls and divas, tough cats, lions and cheaters. And I fuck with lions and cheaters. What's your life like? A prison cell or you spin in the yard? Got a strip butt naked just to visit your moms? Or you dead broke living with moms?